Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Come on. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me. When I touch the mic, I'm taking care of business. Dropping the bars with latest. No LeBron James, you about to witness. I'm rushing something greatness. Took a lot of praise to beat this elevation. All the confidence, I face it is myself. So why the negativity can go to hell? Fucking insecurity. I ain't break the bill. Eat the food fresh before it goes stale. On my nausea, bad it ain't hard to tell. Pull up a seed, that's sweet to see. No one water, but I think eternal. Jumping over generation curses like a hurdle. Forever for the day that I'm eternal. Reverend with authority like a fruitful kernel. Master shredder with the bars here. Read the strength like Ninja Turtles. Watch me get it off the muzzle, cause my vision be a tunnel. Moving through the rubble. Digging up the chairs with the pen, that's my shovel. Bruising up this beast to a mumble. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me. I'm a beast in the booth on my Babe Ruth, getting all the hits cause I'm speaking truth. No, cause love is short, but I'm true to the game. Shooting for my goals with the aim of Steph Curry. Trying to make a name. I ain't playing games. This ain't PS5. This is real life. You only give a life. Ain't no 9 lives. So I can't waste my time on my Jimmy Cricket. Let your conscience be. You got the most. I would never leave the plot. Even when rejected, it's a blessing in disguise. That's a self-off. I try again. You gotta believe that you can fly. Spread the wings wide and watch your blessings rise. Gotta keep fighting too. Keep a dream alive. Never let the voices in your head win. Cause you got a lot of greatness within. Let the rain begin. Shine on these haters. Posing as your friends. Cause they just won't pretend. I recommend. Bass knocking. Snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Bass knocking. Snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Let the beat talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Let the beat talk to me. Mike, my bad, y'all. Mike muted. What's good with this loud talk so low? You know, every Wednesday night, same time and place. Unless I say otherwise. If you paid attention to my Instagram story or you're a member of my group chat on Instagram, then you'll know that I had a special time. I got a special guest, my bro ESman. I attended Full Sail with him. We also worked together at Plush Studios as an intern. I'm going to be bringing him up in a few, introducing him. So just to give a brief introduction on the ESman, I'm going to read his bio to him. Sean. How you pronounce your name, Sean? What's that? How you pronounce your last name?
My last name, right?
Yeah, your last name.
It is pronounced Swabadisson, but I don't expect everybody to get that.
Yeah, because I was like, hold, let me ask real quick, Swabadisson, because I remember I couldn't pronounce. I was called you Sean.
That's all right, brother. Goat. So you know.
Sean Swabadisson, born on January 24th, 1991, from Dover, New Jersey. He started his local music career at the age of 16. He was one of the founding members of the local underground rap crew. Due to personal, professional reasons, he left the group to attend Full Sail University and graduated in the summer 2015. After graduation, he was an intern in an up-and-coming record label in New Jersey, but eventually his journey led him back to Atlanta to intern at Plush Studios as an audio engineer, which where me and Sean met at. We was both interns at Plush Studios. I remember meeting him during the time they had a network music conference. We had to go out there and promote at UCL.
It was some networking event. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And due to certain circumstances, he had to leave and go into the live show technology industry, but now led him to the IT and the tech industry as a whole. I have questions based on that.
Nowadays, he's not only a tech professional, but a practicing Buddhist as well as a spiritual seeker. His mission now is to combine all things he's passionate about, being music, technology, and spirituality, to create a more loving, kind, and authentic place for creators of all walks of life. Hey, I love that bio, man. That's very deep right there. So, without further ado, I'll go bring up ESman. What's good, brother? Good.
Everything's great, man. You know, I mean, even when things aren't so great, you know what I mean? Everything's beautiful. So, you know, I really have no complaints, honestly.
Right. Right. I understand that. And I appreciate you bearing with me because we had some technical difficulties as I was trying to load up. Yeah, my microphone wasn't working. I had to set up. We was going to be on time. So we're starting to look late. And, you know, what's up, Moj? I appreciate you tapping in. You know, that's my boy Moj. You know, I don't know if you see my interview I did with 1908 about 2 weeks ago.
I mean, to be completely honest with you,
I've been
so yeah. It's just been a lot of stuff has been going on, but a lot of good stuff has been going on. So
right. You might not have catched that though, but yeah, he's a member of 1908, a member of the duo. One half of the duo, 1908. You know, I interviewed him. It was a great interview as well. So, you know, it's on my YouTube channel. You know, get a chance to, you know, maybe go on my YouTube channel, check it out. Drop some gems, you know, very, very great conversation. Because, you know, how I do my interviews now, a little different now. You know, I ask questions, but I try to create conversations. You know, I feel like it gives a natural flow, you know. And I'm definitely going to have some great questions for you. So, just in case somebody just tuning in, you know, introduce yourself again for those who might have missed it.
Well, you know, once upon a time, I was known as ESman. I still kind of am that, but it's kind of interesting because I've not quite deviated away from the name, but it's from a time period in my life that I feel like I've kind of grown above now, right? So it's kind of like it's still a part of me, but it's not necessarily me anymore. So it's just like you can call me by my government Sean. I mean, it's like, you know, or you call me ESman. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make a difference, honestly. So you know. But that was given to me. That name was given to me by a friend of mine that passed away some time ago. I was very young. I was 16 at the time, actually. You know, very, very near and dear to my heart. My brother Fred Rowe, you know, he was like the older brother I never had. He was the first person I was supposed to do music with, but unfortunately for his untimely demise when he was 19, it kind of changed certain things, right? And you know, I still wanted to pursue it. You know, I was very passionate about it at the time. And I got involved with a local crew. We called ourselves Unique Minds because each of us was unique in our own way, which was both a great thing on paper, but a bad idea in reality.
Right.
Because we were all a little bit too different for our own good, so we couldn't mesh together. And no one person's at fault with that. It was all equally how do I say it? It was all equal opportunity mess up, right? Like no one could get their stuff together, including me. I can't say that it was like oh, it was all those other guys. No. It was I was young, I was dumb, you know, I was barely in my 20s. At the time, I was probably like 17 through 19. You know, still a young guy, just fresh out of high school, barely in college, that sort of thing. And you know, unfortunately, we had a falling out, and it ultimately brought me to Full Sail. And I call, you know, I have a lot of mixed feelings about that institution. But all in all, I will say it was positive. But there are certain things that were done post-graduation that I don't necessarily agree with. And when you look at certain statistics of theirs, it's just like, what are they really doing here? But I don't want to totally bash the place because, I still have people that do talks there and, people that teach there that that's how they pay their bills. So it's like,
correct.
I can't, but at the same time, I do have a lot of issues with that, but we could say that for another time. But
absolutely. I have my issues with them too, as well.
But yeah, after a while, I interned with a friend's up and coming studio, and unfortunately, that fell through as well because I was essentially, and I hate even saying this out loud, but it's the truth. I was taken advantage of, right?
Right.
And that kind of damaged that relationship. So, kind of was trying to find my own way, and I came to a lot of realizations over the years, right? Like, it's kind of interesting because I'm gonna bring all of this into play in a second, right? Because that's one of the main reasons. That's one of the main things I do want to bring up.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just like one of the Four Noble Truths. If people aren't familiar with Buddhism, there's these things called Four Noble Truths. There's suffering, the cessation of suffering.
Right.
I'm still learning a lot of it, so bear with me.
You're good.
Yeah. No, so it's suffering, the arising of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and then there's the path, which is the Noble Eightfold Path, and you might see a wheel, right? And I don't remember exactly what the Eightfold Path is off the top of my head, but essentially, it all leads to attachment. I was so attached to this dream, to this passion of mine, that it was actually making me suffer. Interesting concept, right? So, I kind of had to find something else to bring me at peace. And I realized, like, through live show industry and all that, I got really good at tech because a lot of the consoles and audio equipment and video equipment, it all runs on digital technology nowadays.
Correct.
So in a weird way, it's starting to bring me full circle to a creative path again. I had to let go of my dream of being in music in order to open avenues of being on a creative path again.
Right.
So something a little bit different, and maybe not necessarily being an artist or a producer. And, honestly, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what that is. But I think my main mission here today, Lo, is this. It's just like, to kind of tell people that might be stuck in a rut that essentially when one door closes, another few, not just one other door, another few can open for you and present opportunities that you would least expect.
Absolutely. Because I remember when you reached out to me and said you like to be on the show and you told me what you were talking about. I said, this is perfect. It's something different. I said, no, it still relates to music. And I was like, yeah, I'm open to it. They don't always have to be strictly music related or strictly like who's the best artist or whatever topic I'm talking about. But, that's why I created this platform. So we brought that to my attention. I said, it's perfect. I said, who other than a perfect person? I said, you're a perfect example of that. So I was like, other artists that's listening, they can maybe get those gems from you. So you're talking about that your discovery you had to give or your dream of being in the music industry. What benefits have you seen since you decided to pivot from being from an artist standpoint or for a production standpoint in the music industry to pivot to your new career path? How that been beneficial to you?
Peace of mind, honestly.
That's a good answer.
It's been a lot of work. I had to confront a lot of things that I didn't like about myself, right? You know, I had to make I had addictions that I didn't even know I had. I had habits that I didn't even know that were necessarily bad, that were terrible, terrible
Terrible.
habits. You know, I had to I'm gonna be all the way vulnerable right now, and I had to question my relationship with alcohol,
You had a question relationship with who?
you know, and with alcohol,
Oh yeah.
like drinking.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know, you know, even though I wasn't as bad as certain people that I knew, it was still a detrimental uh relationship in order in my well-being. And you know, there were a few times even in recent history where I've done things and related to drinking that I was just like, okay, I need to step back. I
Hmm.
might need to stay away from this.
Hmm.
And you know, it ultimately led me back to my spiritual path again, and actually taking it seriously this time, you know,
Hmm.
and making me ultimately realize that, you know, I'm in charge of my own success, and no one and no one's necessarily going to save me, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
I'm essentially in charge of my own destiny, but
Hmm.
it takes work.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think that's one thing that a lot of artists and producers up and coming, you know, they need to have honest conversations with themselves. And I wasn't having those honest conversations with myself for years. And I was thinking, like, you know, you know how studio sessions get. Everybody's getting high, and everybody thinks that like that's what they
Right.
need to be creative.
Right.
And if that's what you do and you have a healthy relationship with it, that's fine. But a lot of people need to rely on it, but that's not even true, because we as human beings, we're creative by nature. That's what we want to do. That's what, we want to paint, we want to build stuff. You know, we want
Right.
to we want to create amazing things. It's already in our innate DNA. So, you don't necessarily need to rely on drugs or alcohol or anything like that in order to get in that creative headspace. You just need to
Exactly.
tap into that within yourself,
Correct.
you know? And I always kind of knew that, but I didn't really know until recently, especially doing deep meditation. And I'm just like, oh yeah, it's there. It's there. Okay. Yeah.
It's
So
there. It's there. Yeah, I have noticed though. That's good though. That it actually, instead of most time when people give up on their dreams, it's just like their whole life spirals out of control. You didn't let that consume you, so instead, it helped you realize what your bad habits was. You was able to kill those bad habits and focus on becoming a better you, becoming your higher self. So, which is great. That instead of
yeah.
it didn't put you in depressive mode, because some people give up their dreams, they just go into the depression state and they never come out of that dark place.
And I was in that dark place for a while. The pandemic wasn't easy for a lot of people. And, you
Mm-mm,
know,
mm-mm,
it was to that point where it was just like I felt all hope was lost for me.
mhm.
And, you know, a lot of artists, they they're stubborn, right? They're very stubborn
Mhm.
individuals. They have their way of being creative, and they
Absolutely.
want to be creative for a living. And it's like if they don't attain that, like you were saying earlier, that can create some darkness, man. You know,
Yep.
and it can create some really bad, and it can create some really bad habits, and like, you know, to the point of possible, you know, self-harm.
Right.
And, you know, again, this kind of goes back full circle. It's just like a lot
Mhm.
of artists and producers and people coming up in the game, they need to have those honest conversations with with themselves.
Absolutely.
They need to realize, like, stuff might not work out, and that's okay,
Right.
right?
Correct. Correct.
Things may not go according to plan. I've had a plan B, C, D, E, F, G. And
Hey.
I'm still maintaining. I'm still here, and I feel like I'm renewed.
Right.
I don't feel clinged on to my past. I don't feel clinged on to my pain anymore. I don't need to
Right.
be. And that's another thing that artists do as well. They feel like they need to cling on to pain in order to create. I believe a favorite of yours and mine, Tech Nine,
Mhm.
has
Mhm.
mentioned that quite frequently. But he has a rare ability to transmute that into something very positive.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of
That's the key right
people
there.
a lot of people though, they don't. They just wallow themselves in like this ball of negative energy, and then it's just like, they're a big ball of anxiety and depression, but they might create great music. Some of my
Right.
favorite examples of that are, two of my favorite, well, no, three of my favorite grunge singers, which
Mhm.
is Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, and Kurt Cobain.
Right.
They created amazing, amazing music, but they were so, like, substance abuse and negativity and,
Mhm.
you know, just 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 years of undiagnosed mental health issues, and it led to their demise.
Right.
And it's just like, we don't want that for everybody. We want to keep you here. We want to keep you here. We need you creative people here. We want you here.
Right.
So it's just like,
Excuse me.
it's all about, oh, bless you, my bro. But it's just like,
Thank you.
it's all about finding that balance. And in the school of Buddhism that I practice, they also combine a lot of Taoism. So, it's Chinese based. So it's like yin and yang, finding that balance in the
Mhm.
good and the bad. And
Mhm.
it's just like, I'm gonna bring up Tech Nine again. It's just like, he has a very unique way of just transmuting that negativity and turning it into amazing music.
Correct.
And
Correct.
and it's just like, use your experiences for good. You know what I mean? Use your experiences for good. Use it to
Right.
help people. Don't just try to chase clout. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's another
Absolutely.
thing that I wanted to bring up too. It's
Mhm.
just like, s- so many artists out there, so many people think that they can just become, overnight successes with TikTok. And I'm not even bashing TikTok. I think TikTok is a good platform with certain things, right?
Right.
But it's just like, it's just it's manufactured inauthentic music, and it's just like, it's all about being viral and clickbaity. It's like, we all as a conscious collective need to get back to, creating music that's for the people, by the people,
Right.
whether that be hip hop, R&B, reggae, whatever you're into. But it's
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
this this industry, from experience, as well as I do, it's so fickle and volatile, and I feel like that's need to change for many, many years, and it's, quite frankly, only gotten worse.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like, how are
Right.
artists getting paid a fraction of a cent off Spotify, and they want to take that away?
Yeah. Yeah. because I don't know if you see my interview I did with my brother J.A. And we was talking about that because he created a music bill. He was talking about a
Yeah.
music bill that he's trying to get pushed to help combat that. I know it's the interview I did like a couple of months ago. You definitely should check it out too, because like and definitely, I'll reach out to you too when you get ready to start to push it. You can decide a petition for them to push it. But yeah, because we talked about that as
Absolutely.
well, and
Because
I'm glad that you mentioned that because so the dudes, I was telling in the description, I said you're going to talk about dudes that don't any so do take your pain and make it a positive experience to inspire others to not feel that same pain or how to deal with that same pain, to heal from that same pain that you experienced, to help others heal from their pains that they share with you.
mm-hmm.
And that's great
But
that you
yeah,
said that. Like, go ahead.
oh no. Go ahead.
Oh,
You had a good flow going, my bro. I'm sorry.
yeah, you good. You good. You good. What I was saying was, you say a lot of artists are stubborn, yeah, because like you said, a lot of artists are stubborn, so they might take that pain and use it for clout. Hey, this was gonna get me on, so let me play into that for clout. I really ain't really trying to take the experience to use this, and let me use it to my advantage to get me rich or whatever selfish reason that they have. But yeah, yes, and to go on your take also with the industry being fickle. Yeah, it's fickle. It's unpredictable. You never know. This trend might be hot, and the next trend ain't. So, what would you tell an artist? What would your advice be to an artist that dealing with the industry that can be so fickle and volatile? That what would you tell them their best advice to do? Would you say maybe kind of jump on the next trend, or just kind of curve their own lane? What would be your advice for an artist?
I got to quote the great Big Daddy Kane.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I believe it was in The Art of Rap by Ice-T, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said trends come and go. So once that trend's gone, you're gone. So what that means is you have to make something that's everlasting. And there's a
Correct.
reason why Big Daddy Kane was still able to hop on a track with Busta Rhymes and Conway the Machine and have the best verse on that song.
Like, what song is that?
Okay.
How did I miss that one? How did I miss that?
So Slap by Busta Rhymes. Telling you, that's a banger. Marley Marl
I'm about to
produced
check
the
that
beat
out.
too. It's incredible.
Oh,
It came out a
shoot.
couple years ago.
Oh, shoot.
So,
I might
crazy.
have missed that one. I
Crazy.
might have missed that one because music come out
But
so
yeah,
dang much.
I would say make something that's everlasting, which
Mhm.
but that's also part of the problem too, right? There's too much content. So it's like,
Right.
But one of the things that we mentioned our mutual friend Darrell,
Right.
that's like that's like a big brother and a mentor of mine. I have nothing but love for that guy.
Mhm.
It's been a while since I talked to a lot of people, man. I've been doing a lot of soul searching and self-discovery and all that stuff. So it's like I feel like I'm making my comeback in a
Right.
way. So he talks about creating your core audience, and I think that's really crucial because we get caught up in the glitz and glam a little too much as a society
Absolutely,
as
we
a
do.
whole, right? Like like we watch reality TV to see what Kim Kardashian's doing, or we get caught up in you know I don't know whatever designer Ice Spice is rocking, or whatever, just to name a name out of right.
Right.
But it's just like, if you look at all the great music, it's still played to this day. Doesn't matter
Right.
what decade it came out.
Right.
It's like
Especially the 90s.
it's like, but even more so, my girl's nowhere near a hip hop head as I am, But that woman loves her some old school soul music. I'll tell you what now. Every Sunday, Teddy Pendergrass in the house. Just to name a name. Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross. Wasn't born when that music came out, but she grew up listening to it because of her parents and grandparents. Timeless. It's so timeless that Ninth Wonder, DJ Premier, Alchemist, Pete Rock, they still sample those records. Timeless.
Right.
His teachings are thousands of years old, and I'm still practicing them. Timeless. That's what it's all about. It's about creating something that humans genuinely connect with, not just because a machine or an entity told you to create it and make you think that it's gonna connect with people.
Mojay on YouTube.
There's a reason why people still love Michael Jackson.
Right. And Mojay on YouTube said, heck yeah, the 80s and the 90s are timeless. He's agreeing with you. Mojay, he's saying, heck yeah, the 80s and the 90s are timeless. Absolutely. That music's timeless. I always play that music. I swear
Mojay,
I play
shout out to you for that.
Yeah, I play that music almost every day. It's never gonna be a time to ride the car and say, I want to listen to the 80s. Like you come in my car ride with me, you probably think I'm still in the early 2000s and 90s and all that because that's what I mostly play. But I still like some of the new music.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's on YouTube, and I just want to take a moment and say shout out to everybody on Instagram. I see you on Instagram. I don't know why it's glitching. It won't let me respond to my comments, but y'all put a petition to screen y'all to tell them, say, hey, make it where Loretta's only can see the comments on Instagram so I can respond to y'all. I'm not annoying you guys. It's just I can't see your comments. I got to flip back and forth. So that's what you see when I'm on the computer. I'm listening to you, but I'm like flipping back and forth to see who's on Instagram, see who I can engage with. So I probably
it's all good.
Yeah,
you got a lot going on. You get it.
Yeah, I do.
And it's actually getting a little. It's actually getting a little dark in here. Give me a sec. There we go.
Yeah,
get some light going on.
Feel amazing. Absolutely.
Even though it did make you feel amazing, though. Not almost. In my opinion, it did.
It did.
It's like, man. I mean,
that music.
I mean, there's a reason why. There's a reason why Illmatic is still talked about. There's a reason why 36 Chambers is still talked about. There's a reason why both those artists, Wu-Tang and Nas, can go on a tour and sell out every show.
Right. Because they created their lane. They carved their lane. Yeah, and like you said, they didn't follow trends. They were the trends. So it's like, hey, this is my style. And I think that's what was missing. And I'm glad that you said that, you quote a Big Daddy Kane. Yeah, your artist that's listening to that, don't follow trends. Carve your own lane. Have your own sound. Create what's unique to you. The right people will like it. Then we find a group of people that like it. You focus on them. Don't worry about everybody else don't like it, because not everybody gonna like your style. So, but that's okay. That's something you do to be successful in the industry. Carve your own lane. Create your own sound. Be your own trend. You be the trend. So if other artists follow it, you said it first. So if it goes somewhere, then it comes back. Guess what? You the forefront of it.
Exactly. Like and speaking of trends replaying, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my ego talking, and I'm trying not to be like this anymore. But I feel like everybody owes me an apology about Griselda right now, and I'm going to tell you why. So I said a long time ago, that there was going to be a renaissance when it came to some gritty, dusty boom bap stuff, right? And everybody's just like, oh, the 90s ain't going to come back. That's never going to happen. And all of a sudden, Griselda blows up, and they're like taking over.
Exactly.
Like West Side Gun is at every AEW event and WWE event, and like going to Fashion Week and all that stuff, and still like keeping it hip hop.
Right, exactly. Because
I called it. I
you
called
did.
it.
You did. I remember.
So like, I'm just like, hey, listen,
That's why I first heard of them too.
People want bars. People want people want to hear lyrics. People want to hear that real stuff, and it doesn't matter what genre of music. You know what I mean? People just want to hear authenticity.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't know. I've even talked to my girl about certain things, and she go and with certain people, she's just like she's like, I don't know none of this new stuff. Like, we used to hit up downtown every now and then. Don't ask me what I was doing at downtown in my 30s, but
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You gotta have fun too, man.
It's
30s
downtown
ain't
Orlando's
old.
too much.
30s ain't old, man.
I'm not saying I'm old. It's just my mental state. It's just
Well,
like,
yeah, I feel
and plus I don't really drink like that anymore. Both of us really don't.
right.
So I mean, it's like,
Right.
but what I'm trying to say is, it's like we would go to these different venues, and it's just like, we don't know none of this new stuff. What's going on here? Like, and none of it was any good. Like, none of it was any good. I'm just like, this sounds like the stuff that they were recycling from 10 years ago.
Yep. Did I hear my nieces and nephews tell me, and they come tell me, and I say, oh, and I go look up, I said, oh, I know this song now. I heard this in the club. I just didn't know who it was. And we at that age now. It's like, it's funny how that happens, I say I'm at that age now where I'm like, man, who's this? I don't know who this is, but like the beat sound dope, but they're like, what is he talking about? Then I'm like, oh, I'm at that age now. I mean, I don't knock it. I mean, it's the same thing we was, and our parents looked at us like, what is that?
Oh, especially coming from the family that I came from, where they was just like, what is Sean doing listening to that black music?
Really?
Well, okay, so I listened to a different form of it.
Yeah.
Because this is, but that's like, my personal family history. I love them. I love them. I have no ill will towards them, but it's just like the soul records were okay, but once they start rapping, it's a different story, right? Like, it's just like, golly.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody didn't parents didn't like the rap because of the I guess because of the
cussing. I get it. But I mean,
I get it because my parents didn't like it either. My mom was like, "What are you doing listening to that stuff?" Like, I haven't told you the story where Mama took the Word of Mouth CD from me. I told you about that.
Yeah, I think you did. I remember you.
Yeah, man.
Before,
She wore the CD. She brought the CD. I'm like, you didn't see it. It said parental advisory, explicit content. You did not see that. I know you smart, Mama. Come on, Mama. You was the director of a nurse for crying out loud. You didn't read that? Before you brought me the CD, I had to beg you to get me the CD. I remember. I was like in the 8th grade. I was like, she let me listen to it. She said, let me listen to it. So we didn't get past the first song. Remember the song Coming to America on the album?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
We didn't get past the first song.
Oh, boy.
Like, yeah, so I know I went through the same thing. Parents like, what is this? What are you listening to that kind of stuff? They ain't know.
My mom used to hate Eminem, right? And it's funny because, like, within recent history, she started liking him. My mom used to not, but it's just like, I felt like it was like the cool thing to do for every white parent in the 90s and 2000s to hate Eminem for whatever reason, even though, mind you, right, my parents realized they were both hypocritical because, like, my dad especially was listening to, like, I don't know, like, Misfits and stuff. I don't know if you ever heard any of the songs by Misfits, but they were talking about some crazy stuff in those records. Like, I'm just like, even like certain songs by like my mom likes The Clash, another classic punk band. They were talking about some crazy stuff too. Sex Pistols too. Sex Pistols especially. So I think they kind of finally realized that it's just like, oh, wait, we were kind of doing the same thing. Maybe, and we turned out okay.
Exactly.
Maybe we should leave them alone.
Exactly. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Their parents do it. We do it too. Kids, we're gonna do it too.
Yeah,
like,
but
what the world? Ain't no hip hop.
Yeah, but it was more. It was more my grandparents because, like, they were born and raised in the '60s that were giving me a hard time. You know what I mean? So like, conservative Italian upbringing, that sort of thing. So it was just like they were all kind of like, like, oh, what's he doing? Listen to this stuff. I mean, it's just like with all this stuff that I got going on back here. Mm-hmm. It's like I try to talk to my grandfather about it because people think that like I worship the Buddha. And if you know anything about Buddhism, that's not true. Like I revere him as a teacher. You know what I mean? Even like the deities, we don't worship them like we would like Christians worship God. We revere them. We respect them. Kind of like like, listen, I'm a fan of Marvel. You're a fan of Marvel. I like Wolverine. I like Tony. I like Spider-Man. Do I worship you? No. I so it's like trying to explain that to them is like talking to that door over there. It's just a pointless conversation. But it's like what when it comes to those older generations, though, you can't help but love them, right?
Exactly.
Because even though they almost have like a childlike ignorance at their old age. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, I try to explain something to my dad or my mom's parents. I try to say to my parents like, you don't get it, do you? I'm like, I'm trying to explain like it's progressive, like it's a little different now. We ain't with that no more. We don't think like that, But they don't get it sometimes.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, and sometimes it's just in one ear and out the other. But again, you gotta love them. You gotta love them. I love my grandparents to death. They helped raise me. You know what I mean? So
right.
I can't help but show love and respect for that. You know what I mean?
Right. Of course. Yeah, you gonna love them regardless. You just disagree on certain things. You're not gonna agree on everything. That's what makes us human. So you're not gonna agree on everything. And that's dope. I love this conversation, how we go deep, because I know it's going to go deep. We're going to dive deep and talk about many other things too as well. And I got a question for you. What was, do you remember the first time that you ever wrote a record? Like, what was that feeling like?
Okay, so you talking about like the first record, or you talking about like the first rap period?
First rap period that you written,
if
you can remember. So, what was that feeling like?
Well, I can't remember it. I can't remember it bar for bar, right? But what I do remember just feeling like that completion, and it actually made sense somewhat. And I'm just like, oh, this is how you do it. And I was like in 5th, 6th grade, something like that. Had to have been. Now, my first recorded song, I was probably 17, maybe pushing 18, and we recorded something in my homeboy's cousin's basement at the time. And he had like this crappy recorder where it's like you recorded it. I don't even remember what it was called, but like you recorded it onto the CD. Huh?
Tape deck?
No. What it wasn't a tape deck because you recorded it directly onto the CD. So, but yeah, nonetheless, we recorded it on that, and I'm just like, Oh, it sounds so good. I was so hyped. And then if I were to listen back to it now, I'd be like, oh, kid, you need work. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right. You know, nobody come out spitting bars or spitting crazy bars like that. You know, it takes much practice, you know, much wisdom, you know, you grow as an artist. And that's another thing I want to say too, drop a gem on any artist that's out there listening to this conversation, that sometimes, you know, it takes a while. You can spend a lifetime learning about music. You spend a
oh yeah,
lifetime learning music.
I still
That
am.
includes hip hop. That includes hip hop. People like to say you too old to do this, but I don't believe that. I feel like when you at a certain age, you shouldn't be rapping about certain things. Or if you're gonna rap about certain things, you should do it in a way that's mature or that's more like teaching, you know, whether or not enabling it, but teaching or using it as an example, or it's clever to a point where it sounds intelligent, you know. It's like on you know some grown man shit, like what Jay-Z do now. You know, a good example, Jay-Z. But Jay-Z don't rap the same that he rap like it's not Jay-Z when he's wearing throwback jerseys
Ah,
and saying money, cars, cash, clothes, hoes. You know, we're not saying Jay-Z rapping like that anymore. You know, he's rapping the grown man shit, talking about stocks and bonds, high property, you know, he's saying I should have brought that property for this amount of money, but how I feel like Dumbo, stuff like that.
yeah. Good point. And
And I believe it's a
that's
lane
something
for that.
yeah, of course there is. But that's but that's another thing I want to tell I want to tell the other artists that are in the audience too, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
like again kind of coming full circle, having honest conversations about yourself, like to yourself, I should say, excuse me.
Right.
It's just like, what are you in this for? Right? And I was in it for the wrong reasons. I'll admit that. Even though I claim to be in it for the right reasons, you know what I mean?
That's okay.
It's just like it's just like, what are you in this for? What are you in it to talk about the drugs? Are you in it to talk about the women? Are you in it to try to get fat? Try to get a buck? Or do you want to genuinely create good art? And
Exactly.
I feel like people, and I feel like a lot of up and coming artists miss that mark
Right.
because kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's just like everything's so instantaneous right now. And good art takes time. You have to cultivate it. It's just like, you know, going to the gym or learning to meditate or learning how to chant a mantra properly. It takes time.
Right.
Or even to
Mm-hmm.
fully understand a certain text, right? Because like one of the texts that I read on a daily basis and listen to on a daily basis, I actually sent you a couple videos of it. It's this text called the Heart Sutra,
Right.
and it essentially explains the nature of the universe. And it
Hmm.
was written thousands and thousands of years ago before modern scientists even began understanding the nature of the universe. So it's just
Interesting.
like, you know, that takes time to comprehend. So it's just like mastering a craft takes time. Creating a good
Right.
song takes time. Creating a good album takes even more time than creating a good song. But,
Right.
you know, we've been conditioned to have it as, you know, one of the guys that I follow, Guru Thanet, says, you know, we've been conditioned to have an attention span of a goldfish, that it's just
Right.
like, you know, we forget that stuff takes time and effort and
Right.
patience. That's a big thing.
Right.
Patience, learning patience. And I can admit, in my 20s, for most of my 20s, I was very impatient
Yeah.
because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the success right away. I felt like I deserved it. And that's not how anything works, you know? And I thought I was better than a lot of people. I probably was better than a lot of people, but I
Mm-hmm.
was letting my own ego get in the way, even if I was quiet about it. Because like even when you met me, I was still battling that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, even though on the surface I was still like I was always like a chill, humble dude.
Yeah. You never been
There's
cocky. I never picked that vibe up from you.
When it came to certain things, yeah, you know what I mean? Because like, especially like to kind of give you an example, when we were interning at Plush, I'm just like, some of the talent that came in there, I was just like, I could smoke half these guys. But now I don't even think that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like it's just like everybody's talking about like, like the Drake and Kendrick beef, right? And it's like, it's interesting, it's fun, but it's like, people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I'm gonna speak my truth. It's just like, what are we really accomplishing here? And I love Kendrick, but what are we really accomplishing here, right? And people were kind of getting mad at J. Cole for backing out, but it's just like, the thing that I appreciate about J. Cole is it's just like, you can tell that's an elevated mind.
Correct.
You can tell.
Yeah. You realize what it was. It's like, hold up, I'm playing into it too much. Yes, it's rappers going back and forth, wax. I'm not that type of person. That's not why I got into this. I got into it to, make music. People gonna have their opinions and say J. Cole's, oh, he's soft, he's a bitch, oh, he backed out, but I think he realized he was
the wrong way of looking at it.
I don't look at it, at first I was like, man, why you back up? I wish you would have kept going, but in the way that I thought about it, I said, oh, he's being himself. He's saying like, I'm not being myself. He realized like, hey, I'm playing too much into what they want me to be. So I'm not going to play into what they want me to be. My real fans will stick with me regardless. I still listen to his music because he realized he's not being true to himself. So he was able to not operate in the ego. So he realized, hey, I was operating my ego going at Kendrick. Kendrick might be dissing me. Okay, cool. I took shots at him, but I'm operating out of ego. That's not me. That's not me.
Exactly.
Sure, he talked his stuff. Rappers talk their stuff on wax. Will I really love it? Now, to be honest, I ain't gonna say a lie. Yeah, I'd love to see J. Cole and Kendrick go bar for bar. Very two talented artists. I want to hear it. Those stay on wax. Yeah, that's always kind of been in hip hop. Regardless, it's always been friendly competition. Like, who got the best rhymes? You or me? That's always been.
Right.
Even
exactly.
My all-time favorite, DMX. DMX.
Rest
he talked about that. Rest in peace of DMX. That's a loss. That hurt me bad. As you know, as you a fan too, we share that common thing.
Big time, absolutely.
And he talked about that. So how it battle rap. You want to see who got the best rounds. So you didn't want to get outshined by niggas, dude. That's part of hip hop. That was even back when it started. Yeah, rapper come out and say, "Oh, he out there bidding. Oh, okay,
it is
bringing it down. He coming around and flipping. That's introducing a new style."
I think what gets lost in translation, though, unfortunately, when it comes to hip hop, and this is just my own personal opinion, because as much as I love this music and I love this culture,
right,
there's a thin line between friendly competition and then competition going sour, right? Because you can say the wrong thing, and it turns into something nasty. And
we've seen it before.
Feel like too many times.
Too many times. Way too many times. It started off on wax. Then somebody say the wrong thing, or it really got so harsh where, oh, well, forget on wax. Say, I see you in public. It's on the pop. It's on site.
And that hurts me still seeing that, because it's just like, how much talent have we lost because of that?
A lot. Look at, notably, not to be cliche, but Pac and Biggie always comes up when you talk about this. You gotta mention them because it's so sad. RP to both of them gentlemen, both two great artists that technically it was Pac more so. Pac was getting that Biggie more than Biggie getting that Pac. Pac got caught up in the war, got in his ways, but that's a whole nother story. But it's like they end up losing their life because behind some shit the media was pushing. I really think the media pushed it more than what it was, and they kind of played into it. And look what happened.
Oh, it definitely They definitely
And
did.
look what happened.
They definitely
and
did.
look what happened.
You know,
We lost two great legends. We lost two legends. Two of the greatest artists of who ever touched the microphone. We lost two legends behind that.
Yeah.
East of the West Coast.
And
exactly, Moj, legends gone too soon. Legends gone too soon. It's sad that the legends gone too soon. It's like all the beef I can say that really
shout out to
didn't
Moj for that, you know.
But that really didn't last like that was Jay-Z
Shout out to
and
Moj
Nas.
for saying it's true.
It's sad that you say that hip hop has gone that far. Like what we really accomplished, really doesn't accomplish anything. I had a topic about that week before last. I had a topic based on that, talking about that. Because it felt like it was needed. But okay, I'm glad it's over with. Okay, Kendrick won, whoever you think won, but it's like it also brings out other things too as well that you speak on that, because people want to, people that actually going crazy attacking people over their opinions. Oh, people getting real personal. Oh, Kendrick fans, you out there fanboying or fangirling or whatever, Drake or Kendrick, they don't know you exist, but you out there just going insulting. It's okay to debate your opinion, but people actually go and attack people personally over their opinion. It's crazy.
But that's also the landscape that we live in too.
Yeah, that's what anything. Basketball, sports, politics, issues, anything in the world, everything, or just something in general. Or show, like you say, you can like that book. Oh, that book is garbage. I don't know how you read it. Blah, 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 blah. You need to check your brain. Like, that's my opinion. Nobody asked you. You don't have to like it. People can just keep scrolling. And that's what people think. J. Cole said, say I can keep minding my business. I don't have to respond to that. People hate him for it, but for him to be a man enough to commend him, I wish we could see more of that. Maybe not play too much into it before it becomes something too big. When really it was just friendly competition to get go. But like you said, it can go somewhere else.
That's another thing that up and coming artists need to realize too, right? It's just like y'all, we gotta break free from this negativity and toxicity and be the bigger example.
Exactly.
It's like be the change. I know it sounds cliche, but it's just like promote love.
It might not be the cool thing to do. Yeah, right. It might not be the cool thing to do right now, but somebody got to do it.
But it is the cool thing to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's just like, embracing each other for who we are, who we truly are, and making great art that's pure, that's pure from the heart, and coming together as one human family.
Exactly.
That is the cool thing to do. And you know who promoted that really well? The late and great Bob Marley.
Absolutely. That's good that you said that. Say his name, Bob Marley.
And Bob Marley's
everybody love him. Everybody love him. Everybody love him. All races love him. Everybody from all walks of life love Bob Marley. When I went in the movie and saw it, I saw a couple people from all over the place.
Oh, it's fantastic. So good. So
good.
He was. Yeah,
that's another one that was too soon. Yeah, but cancel down. But good thing it wasn't like a beef, like Tupac and Biggie, or RP to Nipsey Hussle, or a lot of other artists, like just going back and forth,
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, it's real tough.
Definitely.
And that wasn't even no rap beef, they try to put it out like that. I think that's something discreet, dude didn't know how to take saying, hey man, what you doing around here? They said the way Nick told him was, the people that said it was there, they said he didn't tell him rude, just say, hey, what you doing around here?
And the worst,
he told him respect.
And the worst thing is, the worst thing is just like he was so well respected in his community, and it's just like that, and it was just, and it was just one person, one negative outlier that decided that decided to just go do that. That's such a shame.
It was sad. It was sad though, because it was uncalled for. You know, I wasn't there, you know, but people who said it was there, they said Nip didn't even tell him rudely what he told him. He said, "Hey man, what you doing? You know, you Smith, you don't need Brown here." I'm like, then you get mad because you felt like he embarrassed you in front of everybody instead of just going and leave. I mean, dude didn't beat your ass, nothing. Like, it's no reason to do that, you know. Sometimes take that L and go. That's the problem. And like you said, you know, I brought that up because that's people operating their ego again. You know, you couldn't take an L. You know, it wasn't even that bad. Like, really? Okay. Go. Like, take that L and go. You
Such
know,
a shame.
It's crazy. And, you know, and like I said, you know, I commend J. Cole. You know, at first I was jumping. I'm like, dang, you backed up. And he thought about it. It's like, yeah, he got a point. You know, he said, I'll take the L and go on. Say, yeah, you say, okay, you can have it. You know, I'll take the L and go on. You know, keep my peace of mind because, you know, before I say something or say the wrong thing, it might trigger. It might create something that's bigger than what it really is. And we see that a lot of times. And it's sad. So I agree that telling artists, like, don't play in too much of what others are doing, you know, maybe focus on your lane. That's what basically your ESman is saying, you know. Focus on your lane, you know, don't worry so much about the next man too much. I mean, okay, you want to get a little friendly competition, is cool, you know, just try to keep it, you know.
Of course, yeah.
But don't let it get to a point where it's like you out here attacking his family or you seeing him out of put, oh, when I see you, it's on the popping, or come on, man, that's ridiculous. That's when it gets crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, that's why it's just
change.
like, you know, say that again.
I said, be that change. You know, like you were saying, be that change. You know, it might not be the cool thing to do right now, but trust me, you know, the right people will catch on.
It ultimately is.
Mm-hmm.
All this man did when he first obtained enlightenment was promote love and peace, and he gained thousands of followers. That it is the cool thing to do, right? Like, you know, it's
right. That's what he did.
And you know, you don't have to find that way of thinking just through this, right? Mm-hmm. You can find it through other avenues, but it's just like, listen, it's just like it is the cool thing to do. It is. Mm-hmm. It is a beautiful feeling to embrace one another, and have some friendly competition, but get afterwards, yeah, bro, you did that, you got me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's just like it doesn't need to turn into anything else, and that's where we need to be mindful of ourselves and mindful of our egos, because
it can be done.
If we let the ego run rampant, we see what happens.
Right.
You know?
And it can be done because simple fact that we see Nas and Jay-Z did it. You know, they squashed their beef, ended up doing a song together, came on stage, performed together. They do some more songs together. Beautiful. You know, now Jay-Z still be doing a little petty stuff, you know, mess with Nas. You know, he probably in on it. He said, oh, Nas dropped the album, I'm finna drop a song, you know. That's just something they always been doing. Same thing with Big Sean and Kendrick, you know. But they squashed it. You know, if Jay-Z and Nas could do it, you know how much they didn't like each other. You felt like it was gonna get out of West, but it didn't.
Oh yeah, it was. It could have gotten nasty.
It easily got it because like the stuff Nas was saying, Jay-Z was saying, was very disrespectful. Wasn't that nice?
Oh yeah,
wasn't nothing nice, you know. And
luckily, it didn't come to that though. You know, I couldn't imagine. Yeah. I couldn't imagine a world without Nas or Jay right now. So you know,
right. You know, I'm glad they're still around to live to tell that tale. You know, of
course. Yeah.
Because after Ether, I thought I was like, oh shit, Nas. I was like, damn, Jay-Z gonna whoop Nas ass when he see him. I'm like, what? That was disrespectful.
And the thing is just what? Like Nas. Even though he's such a good lyricist and wordsmith and all that stuff, it's just like, you know, when you see him, it's just like he's such a cool, humble dude. So it's just like the fact that he had that in him. I mean, granted,
Yeah, you know, he's laid
He's an
back.
MC,
You know, he's kind of chill.
but it's like
Chill. He don't
it's
really
like woo.
be popping off like that. But I'm like,
You know,
dang.
that just goes that just goes to show you, you know what I mean? When the ego gets enraged,
Yeah,
you'll be surprised what comes out.
exactly. You know, I had to put myself in check because, you know, I had to do it today at work, you know, with my coworker. You know, I ain't like the way you're a certain way talking to me. I think maybe I could have approached it better, but, you know, I went to cussing them out. I say, hey, man, I said some things I shouldn't have said. I'm like, he told no cussing me. I said, don't fucking raise your voice at me. You know, I'm yelling back at him like, I'm getting pissed. I'm getting ready to go over there and hype up on the dude. He kept going. I probably would have done swung on him. I'm like, man, I say, see that? I say, I got to calm down. I said, I'm getting my ego. And I ain't apologizing to her later on, even though I knew I was in the right. But still, it's like, I think I could have went about it better.
Was this when
you know, I
was
can
this
get
when we were at that warehouse?
Nah, that's old back. But you know, I blew up there too a couple times. It was warranted, but I think I could have handled those situations better.
It would have been easy to do in that place. I'll tell you what. That's one of the reasons
It
why I
was.
left.
Yeah, it was because, you know, we had some guys
Funny
in there.
story
I ain't
though.
gonna mention nobody's names, huh?
Yeah, nah. No need to. Funny
Yeah, I
story
ain't gonna do
though.
that.
So
Yep.
so you know, I started working for them again during the pandemic.
Oh, word.
I was working at the Omni for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It was a different team though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would run into some cats from the warehouse every now and then, some of the drivers
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was just kind of funny. You know what I mean? But I worked for them for a little bit. But it's interesting how things come full circle. But because I went back to that job, I'm now on the career path that I'm in now. So I mean,
Right.
it's just like, as much as I didn't want to go back, Lord, I did not want to go back. But
Well, I agree.
it's just like
Mm-hmm.
now I know what direction in tech I want to go in, you know, as far as
Mm-hmm.
a day job goes.
Right.
And that's the other thing. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any of you ladies and gentlemen out there that are working a day job and doing what you got to do to pay the bills, do not be ashamed of that. Don't be
Exactly.
ashamed of it. You're putting a roof over your head. You're putting food on your table. Don't let social media tell you otherwise.
Exactly.
It's okay that that's what you're doing, because
Exactly.
I you know, even I was getting caught up in that when we were working together, right? I felt
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I need to listen to all these, like, you know, financial and entrepreneur gurus, when, you know, they were just spewing a bunch of nonsense.
And
And
some of themselves ain't on even doing living the life that they spewing.
no, no, absolutely not. So, you know, it's just like, it's okay if you're not where you want to be, which for me, I don't even know what that is anymore. I just feel like, you know, just being in a good environment
Mhm.
and not having to deal with, you know, stress, too much stress, I should say, because life's always going to be stressful to a
Right.
certain degree, right? But
Right.
it's like, you know, having a roof over your head, having clothes on your back. I feel like people don't realize how good they have it because they're looking too far ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
into something that doesn't even quite frankly exist,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
all there is this
Mm-hmm.
moment right now.
Right.
That's all that ever was. That's all that ever will be.
Right. We
This
can't go
thing
with
that
none
we
of this.
call
None of this
time,
gonna come with you.
yeah, this thing that we call time is
Mm-hmm.
just manufactured by us as a species. So it's just like, you know, I know I'm getting a little bit deep here, but it's true when you think about it. So it's
Are you
just
good?
like, you know, we just we put an overemphasis on what we think success is. And in all actuality, it's just like, if you're not living in deep poverty. Now, granted, there's a lot of issues going on in society and stuff like that, but it's just like, be grateful of what you have now, and be grateful of the journey that you're embracing in this thing called life. Yes, you're gonna have ups and downs, slips and falls. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna have heartbreak. You're gonna have, I don't know, bad stuff happens sometimes, right? But
Right.
if you know how to manage it through those bad times, that's what's gonna make you come out on top.
Right. Like definitely right that you said that, and I want to ask a question based off you. You said you went back to PSAV, and you know I remember you said you want to talk about that. So what made you what made you want to go back to take the backtrack? What led you to backtrack? What moment led you to backtrack?
Well,
That's what I'd like to know and why.
so it's a bit of a long story. I
Mhm.
uh I was actually doing IT work for Orlando Health for a little bit, right?
I remember. I remember you went
And
over there. I remember.
um we were right in square one of the pandemic. We saw coronavirus happen in real time.
Hmm.
It was scary.
Hmm.
Um and we were underpaid, our safety wasn't taken seriously. I did not feel safe, and to be frank with some people in the audience right now, I still suffer from some type of PTSD from some of the things that I saw. And
Hmm.
it's gotten better. I've
Hmm.
been going to therapy, and meditation has helped, of course,
Hmm.
but it's still something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. So being in that work environment, I did not feel safe. So, and plus, I was commuting every day. I was living all the way out in Polk County for a little bit. It was ridiculous. So it was like,
Hmm.
I got something closer to home where I was living at the time, and honestly, it was just a retail gig, and
Hmm.
just to pay the bills, just to get by.
Right. 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 You
And
gotta do what you gotta do.
I was just looking again. I was looking for something else close to home that was more related to my career path. So I saw that they're now known as Encore, um, had an opening at the Omni, and I lived pretty close to it. So I'm just like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, this would make sense for me to go to. Do I necessarily want to go back? Not really, because I didn't only have a bad experience in the warehouse, I had a bad experience out in the field too.
Hmm.
And just bad management across the board, to make a long story short. But anyhow, so interviewed the team, got the job. Everybody for the most part was cool. Was there still silliness that went on? Yeah, because it's just the nature of that industry. It is what it is. So, but all in all, I will say it was a good experience, but I just knew eventually, because of the nature of the business and where I was at in my relationship at the time, I couldn't do the crazy schedule anymore, and it was getting really hard on my body. And so I did that for a couple years. I was at the Omni for a little bit, and then I was at the Marriott, one of the Marriotts next to the airport, for a little bit. And my girl kind of helped me get a position within the public school system as a technician, as an IT tech.
Hmm.
And I've just been doing that ever since. And
It's good.
it's a decent little 9 to 5 job, but
Listen. Say
there's
that again. What you
there's
said. Say that again. What you want to say? That Say it again. You said your girl help you. See, ladies. Not all women, but see, ladies. Sometimes you might be that person to help him get to where you need to be at. You might have that connection that he needs to get to make the type of money that he needs to make. So before
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad you said that, but that's a whole other topic though. But see that what you said. See, that's when you know you met a good one. That's a good woman. Same thing for men.
Of
They can do the
course,
same thing.
of course.
That's when you know it's not about how much the person make. That's a whole other topic. But I'm glad you said that because that shows you got a real one. She had a connection, so
And
instead of talking down on you, she helped you say, "Hey, oh, come here."
Yo, she's and you know, I owe her for so much, you know, I don't even know where to
Right.
begin. 'Cause
Right, but that's good.
Yeah.
You met your one. That's good.
It's
That's what you do.
beautiful.
You help your team. You're a team. You know, it's not about
Of course,
I
man.
had I had to, like no, it shouldn't be like that. That's good.
Nah.
That's good. And she saw,
3 years going strong, my brother. 3 years going
that's a
strong. It's
blessing.
crazy.
That's a blessing.
It's beautiful.
That is a blessing. That's good. That so you got with somebody, so they end up helping you lead to somebody that you got that experience, and they can make that connection to take what they connects they had and say, hey, you come over here.
Yeah, man. You know, and I think that's important for people out there too. Is just like,
Mhm.
you know, not just building like good romantic relationships, but just building good, genuine, authentic relationships as a whole,
Right,
right?
right,
Because
right.
one of my biggest complaints about where we went to school at was I felt like a lot of the relationships that a lot of the people that I was coming across, it felt very transactional. Not with everybody, of course, because, like, I wouldn't
Mhm.
consider that with you and I, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You and I, it was like it was on some genuine friendship type stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like you know, we bonded over music and, like, you know, comic book
Right.
stuff and all that, and, we would get on deep dives like this all the time, and you know what I mean?
Mhm,
It was a very
mhm. In the warehouse, we always
friendship.
had this conversation.
Oh,
So what
yeah,
they seen it live now.
and, you know, I would say the same thing about like Darrell and like maybe a handful of other people, my old roommate too, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, you know, those were like the genuine friendships that I built when I was here. But I felt like
Right.
every other interaction that I had there, it was very transactional. And I get it. Everybody's trying to get their bag. Everybody's trying to get their big
Right.
break. Whether you're a
Right.
producer, a filmmaker, a
Right.
script, I get it. But
Right. Right.
the relationships that last are genuine. The relationships that get you into into doors are genuine. They're not. It's not a transactional relationship.
Mhm.
It's like instead of saying like, oh, you're a producer, I'm a writer, he's an artist, we should link. It's just like, you know, build
Mhm.
build up into that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Link up on some
Exactly.
genuine human bonding stuff, and then
Right.
you bring it up. You don't just
Right.
bring that up off the bat because, like, if
Right.
somebody comes
Right.
up to I couldn't stand that because it's like
Mhm.
it takes the humanity out of the equation. You know what I mean? It just it would drive me nuts all
Yeah.
the time because I'm just like, I almost don't wanna be friends with you now, dude. You're probably a
Exactly.
great guy, but I almost don't wanna be friends with you now.
Exactly. You have to
You know what
watch
I
it.
mean? It's like
Right.
there's and
Mhm.
you wouldn't listen, you wouldn't do that to a CEO and be like, "Here, I'm your guy. I need a job. Here's my resume." He's gonna
Right.
look at you crazy and be like, "Get out of my building. What are you
Yeah.
doing
Exactly.
here? Go.
Exactly.
Security."
Exactly.
Like, you know what
Exactly.
I mean? Come on.
You got to work. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Exactly. You
so
got to build relationships. You know. And that's
but
another thing too. You go ahead.
But if you come up to the guy and you start talking and like, you know, if drinking's your thing, maybe you're having a drink and he asks you,
Mhm.
"Hey, young man, what do you do?" And then you
Right.
explain to him. And he'll be like, "You know what? I like you. Send that resume over and we'll talk and see if you're a good fit."
Mhm.
Big difference, right?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
it's just like being genuine and being a human. Even in this day and age of, like, you know, everything being so instantaneous and, you know,
Yeah.
everybody's attention spans
Mhm.
is crap and, you know,
Mhm.
everything's all like this.
Yeah.
Humanity
Everything's
still
so
goes a long
fast.
humanity still goes a long way. It does.
It does. And you know, and I'm glad you said that because that's one of the dudes you do. You treat people like a human. You treat people like a human. I always try to treat people like a human. I don't care how famous they are, I'm gonna treat them like a human. Or, you know, like it might be a little different, you know, if I approach somebody like super famous, you know, that I know like I'm not gonna come like right away. It might be a little nervous because you know you don't want to approach them like too fanish, you know what I'm saying? You never want to do that. Like I never want to do that. Like when I
You just reminded me of something. That's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Um, I have a good story about that. So, it was about me messing up when it came to my code. So because
Right.
like, you know, I'm a lot like you. You know, I always try to, if I meet an artist that I like,
Yeah.
I always try to like, you know, approach him and be like, "Hey man, I'm a fan. I love this album. I love that album." You know, I don't be like, "Oh my god, it's this person." You know what I mean? I don't be doing that. But
Mhm.
I went to an event a couple years ago. It was Thurston Howell III's birthday party. And
Mhm.
you know, so a lot of heavy hitters in the underground and indie scene were there. And you know, my boy Midas, or you know, he's an acquaintance slash friend of mine, Midas the
Mhm.
Beast. You know, he invited me out. So, I was gonna see him perform, and I already knew that I already knew Planet Asia was gonna be there, whose song that I picked for my intro. Planet Asia is like one of my
Right.
favorite underground rappers.
Right.
And you know, I met him like 10 years ago, roughly speaking, 10, 11 years ago. And I actually came up to him and he remembered who I was. And, you know, we were actually just having like a genuine conversation. And, you know, I was pretty much like that with everybody else that came into the building, except I had no idea that Mayhem Loren was going to be there. And I saw him walk in. You know Mayhem Loren, right? Action Bronson's homeboy.
Mhm. I
But
think I
yeah,
seen don't
he
be in the
walked in.
videos with him. Don't be in the videos with him
He's been
sometimes.
sometimes in the videos, but yo, Mayhem's dope. He's so underrated as an
Mhm.
MC. He's dope. But it's like he's probably more my favorite rapper than Action Bronson is, and I like Action Bronson a lot. But it's like he came in the building. I didn't know he was gonna be there, and I saw him. I was just like, yo, and he was so cool about it though. I was just like, man, I didn't know you were gonna be here, man. And I'm just like, yo, I still bump Venetian loafers. That's my joint. And you know, like he was super cool about it. But you know, I normally don't do that. And the only reason I did that was because I wasn't expecting them to be there in the first place. And I'm just like, man, did I really just fanboy just now? I'm so pathetic. Oh man. But yeah, bro. I think your video froze, huh? Ooh wee. Oh no. So we got some technical difficulties here, ladies and gentlemen. What happened? Oh boy. All right, let me hit this guy up. Okay, internet went down. Uh-oh. He's coming back. Probably gonna end this pretty soon though, guys. I gotta get to bed soon. I'm an old man. I got to wake up early. Huh. All right, then.
Yeah, I'm back. Man.
Hey, there he is.
I'm sorry about that, y'all. My internet was tripping. Internet connection tripped with my laptop. I don't know why it does this.
What were you talking about earlier? What were you talking about earlier? You know, technology just decided to stop working whenever it wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
I'm like, why switch to this connection? I'm like, no, you're supposed to be on the router. Like, no, I didn't tell you go on this one. I turned it off, and all of a sudden the Bluetooth come on. I'm like, what is this going on? It just want to have a mind of its own. It messed up because doing a good flow.
Oh yeah, I know, but unfortunately, as much as I hate to end this short, because we could probably go on for like another hour.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know. You was telling me. I know what you was telling me though, but like, it definitely was a good conversation.
Oh, this is great, man. I definitely want to revisit. I definitely want to revisit this another time, you know. But
absolutely. You let me know. You know, we can do the same time.
Absolutely,
you know, what time works for you. You know, every Wednesday, you know, I'm doing it. So you let me know. You know, I let you know what's on the schedule. Yeah, we definitely got to revisit this because I wish the connection when it switched off. Connection is supposed to be connected to. It switched off, and I'm like, why did it do that? It got him out of his own because you was talking something good. But I got one more question before you get here. I do.
How about we close it?
Huh?
Go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Then let me get you this last question.
I was just gonna say, go. Sure.
It's from the audience. Moj. Shout out to Moj from 1908, one half of 1908, who's also was a guest 2 weeks ago on Loud Talks with Low. He asking, I do have a question, ESman. Since I'm learning about producing, what's the pros and cons of going to Full Sail? Great question.
What should we start with?
Well, I would say
let's start with the pros. Let's start with the pros.
Pros.
So the pros are you do get a lot of networking opportunities. You do get to train on a lot of top of the line equipment. You do get a lot of lab time. I will say that you know, and a lot of the classes are a little more intimate. Like, you know, the classes aren't huge, so you do get a lot more interaction with your professors, right? Now the cons, and there are quite a few, my friend. I will say I don't think it's worth the cost. I will say that they don't help you out as much as they promise post graduation. I will also say, even though regardless, there's a lot of networking opportunities, you're so busy with your work in class and outside of class, so you don't even have a chance to go to half the networking opportunities. At least that's how it was based on my experience. Now, other people's experience could be a lot.
For me too.
But it's that's why I'm so 50-50 on the place, because it's like there is good about it, but and the schedule. The schedule is a big con, in my opinion, and what I mean by that is it's not necessarily the length of the classes. I could care less about that. It's I mean the class day. Excuse me, but 2 classes per month, and then you're moving on to the next one. You can't cram that much knowledge and expect people to retain it. It's unrealistic. Because there was so much that I by the time we got to like the part 2 classes, it was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
so much effort that, and I'm still going back to relearn.
And by the time and by the time I got halfway through Full Sail, I just felt so burnt out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I may not have been taking care of myself properly either, but still, it was just like, oh man, it was crazy. That's the one thing I don't miss. I do not miss that schedule. And that's why I had to leave live events. I'm just like, man, I need something a little more normal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, but
yeah, that schedule killer, like yo, like I remember one like month we had class every day for like a week, like a couple of weeks. Monday through Sunday.
Insanity.
Monday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Remember that dude, Ken?
Exactly.
Remember that dude, Ken?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, remember him? Like you could be late to his class if you was late, like out for second. He's like, "Oh, put your name. Come here, put your name." I'm like,
that Southern Baptist cat. That white,
that
white Southern Baptist guy. Yeah. Oh man, he was that dude. That dude was a trip, huh? Seriously, man. Because like,
no question, he had like he didn't want to help. Dude, I'm like, man, who talking to you like that?
I'm a man of Jesus. I'm just like, okay, bro.
He's from Tennessee.
I mean, listen.
Is that it?
I mean, listen. Whatever helps you go to sleep at night, right? I'm one to talk. Obviously, I'm very devoted to what I practice. But you know, when you see white Christian Southern guy, you kind of know what that implies. I'm not saying he's racist, but
anyway. It's just like really like who you talk to like that? Because like a couple of my classmates say the same thing. He talk to them like that. I'm like, dude. I'm like, because like the way you'll say stuff sometimes, I'm like, man, he talks like no, like no.
But hey, listen, man. How about we end this on a real positive and very
absolutely
and very calm note. You know what I mean? I wanted to if you're open to this, you know, I wanted to end this with a brief meditation and possibly a prayer, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
All right. So listen to the chime. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I just want to thank all the friends that decided to join us this evening. May you all find happiness. May you all find peace. And may you all find success. Namo Buddhaya. And that's all, my friend.
Appreciate it. I like that. That was different.
Just something short and brief, you know.
That was different. That's cool. That's different, you know.
Absolutely.
That's different. You know, I'm open to it. You know, I'm an open-minded person, you know. You know,
yeah.
You know. You know, that's different.
Hey, listen, you know, if you guys are more interested about that stuff, you know, you guys are more than welcome to give me a follow. I've been trying to post more TikTok stuff related to all this, but you know, I mean, who knows how long that's gonna last. But you know, to close out, it's just like you can find this message of love, peace, and happiness in different outlets. This is just the outlet that chose me.
Right.
I didn't choose it. It chose me. You know, so you don't have to practice a faith. You don't have, a religion. You can just be a good and genuine individual. So, anybody out there that's going through it, I wish the ease to your suffering, and just and just keep pushing. You got this. But hey, Lo, I really appreciate you having me on, man. It was great seeing you. It was great talking to you.
Always great.
This
It's always
awesome.
great talking to you. Don't be no strangers. I would be no stranger either. It's always great catching up with you. I appreciate it. Natural conversation.
Yeah, brother.
That's how I like it. That's how I like it. I had my questions, you answer it.
Yeah,
Moj, the audience level question. I know I saw people on Instagram. Shout out to them. I appreciate you guys that tapped in and tuned in. Sorry to see your comments earlier if you said anything. I appreciate you. Hopefully, StreamYard will make it an option where we can see our comments from Instagram. What's the point of allowing me to choose as a destination if you're not going to work something out to where we can see the comments on StreamYard as well?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And before we get out here, I just want to let you know I'm the Loretta
So,
I
just.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
I just put my tag in the chat in case anybody's interested.
Okay.
So, give me a follow. If you want, you know what I mean? So, at the only ESman, that name may change soon. Who knows? But we'll see.
Yep. Let me put that in there because put this in the chat. And let me show that.
Absolutely.
The only ESman, that's his tag. Y'all make sure y'all tag that on that's on all social medias. That's on all social medias. Most part, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure wherever social media platform, he says he does most of the Buddha stuff on TikTok. So if you want to follow that, hit him on that, and Instagram as well as most of you can see on Instagram. If you're watching on Instagram, it's YouTube. It's the same on YouTube as well.
I'm not too active on YouTube, but I'm trying to change that very, very soon. You know what I mean?
Especially
my YouTube name is so different. I don't even remember my YouTube. I used to be really active on YouTube back in the day, but I'll get back into it. I'll get back into it eventually when the time comes.
Oh, absolutely.
Trust me. I'm in no rush, man. I'm moving at my own pace, and I love it.
Right. That's all you can do. But yeah, I just wondering because a lot of people go on YouTube and explore, and I know what you're doing is good, and you're very passionate about it, and it's what you are practicing. I respect it, and others that might have saw this tonight, they might be interested in diving deeper with you on that level, because we didn't really talk about that, but So I'm just saying, I know a lot of people on YouTube look for that type of content, so that's the way to get out what you're trying to do.
Definitely.
Which is why I took the switch to YouTube. I don't know if you noticed that I don't put the replays no more. Live talks on Instagram. I still stream on Instagram, but if you want to watch replay, you got to go to my YouTube channel and watch it.
Okay. Yeah.
You got to go to my YouTube to watch
it. That's right.
Yeah. That's right. Absolutely.
All right, brother. It's been.
Appreciate you.
It's been real.
It's been real.
No, appreciate you, man. I didn't know where this was. I didn't know where this was gonna go, but I just.
Cool.
This was
natural.
Great.
It's
this
cool.
Was great.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. We can revisit. We we might have something else you want to talk about. We can revisit it. Maybe we can have others join in. You might want to bring some others that might have some gems to provide on the topic because I can host it like 10 people on here. We can have a whole bunch of us on
here. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, wow.
And Boj said, "Thanks for answering my question. A lot of insight, much success." Boj, wishing that to you.
Much success to you, my brother. Absolutely.
Appreciate you. So I'm gonna let you get out of here. I know you gotta get out of here. So then I'm gonna close out though. But I appreciate you, man. Get at me. I holla, man. Appreciate it. One love.
Appreciate you.
Yep. All right, that was ESman. Appreciate you, my bro, for Full Sail. We used to intern together. We used to work together at PSV, as we was talking about today. I hope you really enjoyed this conversation that we had and him sharing the story about the do's and the don'ts, himself in the music industry and the different career path that he found when he had to give up his music dream, which is very powerful stuff. And hopefully it inspire you and others. You know, it's definitely inspiring to me as well. And maybe those who listen inspire those as well. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. So before I get out of here, just want to let you know if you would like to be a guest on Live Talks with Low, shoot me the email at this email that you see on the screen. You know, shoot me a bio, you know, do music, a business, or it's a certain topic you want to talk about. I'll talk about it with you. I'll bring you up. If you want to bring others with you, I'll be open to the ideas that you may have. You know, this is judgment free zone, so I don't judge anybody. You know, all thing I ask is you be respectful. You know, and whoever you bring, be respectful, and we can go from there. You know, we all out here trying to learn something, so I don't know everything, so I'm always looking to learn something new, and I can learn from others. So we don't have to always share the exact same views. Maybe you can show me something different. You know, I'm down with that as well. I'm an open-minded person. So with that being said, I'm gonna go and get out of here. Peace.